John and David Furnish have one of the longest and one of the most adorable marriages in the entertainment world. But how did they keep their relationship so strong after 25 years, and with all the challenges fame has to offer? Well, the pair have actually provided an answer, one that doubles as an in-depth look into their marriage, and it's very sweet. First meeting. The couple first met in October 1993 at a party Elton threw in London. It was practically love at first sight. I was attracted to David immediately, Elton told Parade magazine in 2010. He had a real job, his own apartment, a car. He was independent. I didn't need to take care of him. I thought, God, this is new territory for me. Someone wants to be with me just because he likes me. A difficult marriage. Finding a soulmate had been a very long road for Elton. In 1984, back when he described himself as bisexual rather than gay, he met and very quickly married a young sound engineer named Renate Blowell. But obviously it didn't last. After 4 years of an increasingly strained marriage, which drew endless speculation from the tabloid newspapers, they were divorced. Deep regret. Elton always felt terrible about Renate. He told the Australian in 2008 that his thought process at the time had been, I've had enough boyfriends, and that's not made me happy, so I'll have a wife that will change everything. But of course it didn't. He added, but you know, it is one of the things I regret most in my life, hurting her. Tantrums, tiaras, and time. Elton put those regrets behind him and became closer and closer to David as time went on. In 1995, David began work on a warts-and-all documentary film about his partner, Tantrums, Tiaras, and when it was released 2 years later, it was a big success. It even won David a Chris Award at the Columbus Film and Video Festival, and thus established him and Elton as a true entertainment power couple. Philanthropy. The pair were also a power couple when it came to charity work. Elton established the Elton John AIDS Foundation in 1992, expanding it to the United Kingdom in 1993, and with David's help it became a force to be reckoned with. The charity now hosts an Academy Awards party every year, one of the most popular events of the awards season. Civil partners. So, the logical conclusion after that was for the pair to get married, but same-sex marriage wasn't legal in England at the time. Instead, come 2005, Elton and David were legally joined in a civil partnership, one of the first ones to take place in the entire country. Their beloved dog Arthur joined them at the ceremony and fans lined up outside to throw rice. Contentment. David admitted long afterwards that he'd expected crowds at the ceremony, but he thought they would be protesting, not cheering. Luckily, he was wrong, and being partners legally brought him and Elton even closer together as well. He told The Guardian in 2013, when the dust settled and we went away. We both looked at each other and felt this much greater sense of contentment than either of us had expected. A great year. The media paid a lot of attention to the marriage, wondering if Elton had finally found happiness for good, and it certainly seemed like he had. 1 year later, in December 2006, Elton proudly told People magazine, "This year has gone so quickly and it has been a great year for us. We feel great and we're going to Venice to celebrate our anniversary and have a very quiet dinner together." First baby. After that, the couple set about becoming parents. Their first child, Zachary Jackson Levon Furnish John, was born via an anonymous surrogate on Christmas Day 2010. We are overwhelmed with happiness and joy at this very special moment, Elton and David said in a press release. Zachary is healthy and doing really well, and we are very proud and happy parents. Second baby. And a few years after that, another child joined them and their family was complete. This was another boy, named Elijah Joseph Daniel Furnish John and delivered via the same surrogate. All we hope is that Zachary and Elijah are healthy and happy, David told People magazine in 2013. They will always be able to rely on us for total love and support, and we hope they grow up to live their own lives and be who they want to be, not who we want them to be. Never change. That concept of accepting people for what they are is perhaps the foundation of Elton and David's family life. David said in his 2013 Guardian interview, Elton still gets angry about things he feels passionately about, and he's always one to express his opinion, and that's just part of who he is. But I love that side of him, and I would never want that to change. Enchanting. David also revealed how Elton was handling fatherhood. Elton is a man who can't go to sleep at night if the remote control for the television is not in perfect alignment with the TV. And with kids, as everyone knows, it just isn't like that. It all just goes out the window, he said. The best comment Elton has said about having children is that everything I thought I would find annoying, I find absolutely enchanting. Happy day. A huge thing happened for the family in 2014. Same-sex marriage was finally legalized in the UK. Elton told the Las Vegas Review-Journal in March, "We don't feel the need to take an extra step legally. But since we're committed for life, we feel it's really important to take that step and take advantage of that amazing change in legislation. We all live by example." Exchanging vows. The wedding took place on December 21st, 2014, exactly 9 years after they'd first had their civil partnership. And this was more of a star-studded event, too. The ceremony itself was a small one, held at Elton and David's estate in Windsor, but the guest list included Ozzy Osbourne, Ed Sheeran, and the Beckhams. Zachary and Elijah were the ring bearers. Roses. Elton enthusiastically shared details of the wedding with all the fans following his Instagram account for updates. He even made sure they knew what the table decorations looked like. The tables looked stunning. He wrote as the caption to one photo, "We had red roses at our civil partnership 9 years ago, and they brought us so much luck." Front page news. After the wedding, Elton proudly gathered up the newspaper headlines about it and posted a pic of them on Instagram. "We're utterly overwhelmed by and overjoyed by all the kind messages of support we've received from people around the world," he wrote, speaking for David as well as himself. "Massive thanks to everyone from the bottom of our hearts. Share the love." Elton had another message too, a more serious one. He wrote on Instagram, "We're grateful and privileged to live in a country where it isn't illegal to be gay and where marriage equality is a reality. Let's all stand up for LGBT people living around the world who deserve the same rights. Share the love." This was something he and David continued to fight for long after they were married. Lucky. In fact, Elton wrote an article for Variety about marriage equality in 2015. He said, "This past December, I married the love of my life, David Furnish. In a world where nearly 3 billion people live in countries that outlaw homosexuality, and where gay marriage is legal in only 21 nations, David and I know how lucky we are to love one another openly, proudly, and legally. Fighting on." Elton finished the article with, "I am so proud of the role that my fellow performers and musicians, as well as caring business people in our industry, have played in advocating for gay rights and marriage equality. But gay marriage is one fight in the long struggle against discrimination and inequality that we must and will carry on. Their willingness to fight for this was another reason Elton and David now command such a devoted fan base." Milestones. That fan base has also been present for so many milestones in Elton and David's married life. In 2018, the proud parents sent their sons off to school for the first time, and Elton posted a pic on Instagram, though he made sure the boys' faces weren't visible. He captioned it, "Can't believe how time is passing. They are growing up so fast in the nicest possible way. I love them more and more each day." The secret. Things were so idyllic in the Elton-David marriage that sometimes people would wonder what exactly was their secret. Luckily for those folks, both men happened to reveal in 2018 the unusual but very sensible thing they did to keep the fire alive. They explained it all to RB*6 Lack in a video that was released via Harper's Bazaar. End of the week. David said, "Every Saturday we gave each other an anniversary card because we met on a Saturday. So we wrote down in like a little card that you put next to the bed, 'Happy anniversary,' and you write about the week that's passed and the week that's coming. And you connect and you tell each other you love each other always." The pair had done this ritual every Saturday for as long as they'd been together. Every Saturday, without fail, in the last 25 years, we've sent each other a card, or a fax, Elton said proudly. If they happened to be working a long distance apart, they would send the cards via courier or use a fax machine. Powerful. However, the messages had to be handwritten, not sent via a computer screen. It's not quite the same as a text or an email, David said. I think seeing the handwriting on paper and feeling the person's humanity through that, and the fact that we do it religiously every Saturday, has been a very powerful bonding thing for us. Communication. Perhaps most importantly of all, the couple continued to send cards to each other, even if they were at a low point in their relationship. Elton explained, "We sort through our problems by communication, and one way of communicating is writing down on a piece of paper or card how you're feeling." Clearly, this system is working well for them. Retirement. Flash forward a couple of years, and the Elton-David relationship remains as healthy as ever. Elton plans to retire from music and spend more time with his family too. He told Carson Daly in 2021 that Zachary and Elijah were going to be teenagers soon, and he needed to spend more time with them, especially since he was in his mid-70s. Another letter. Letter writing clearly forms an important part of the Furnish John family's life, and Elton proved that again in 2022 when he wrote a letter to his sons via Time magazine. In order to celebrate his 75th birthday, he had decided to